Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a video review. And for this review, I'm going to be taking a look at Terminator Resistance Complete Edition for the Xbox Series X and S. This is being played on the Xbox Series S. The game is also available under the name Enhanced Edition, or Enhanced, for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage, I'll have a link down in the description down below. Assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that Terminator Resistance Complete Edition is rated M for mature audiences only. Excuse me, ages 17 and up by the ESRB rating system. Now, in terms of Terminator, is obviously one of the most iconic franchises, or recognized by many longtime fans out there. Originally premiered back in the 80s under the name Terminator, it basically followed the story of Kyle Reeves coming back to save and protect Sarah Connor from basically the Terminator coming to basically kill her, to stop the prevention of John Connor, who formed the Resistance when basically between the war of the machines and everything like that. It was basically a classic film, classic science fiction film to a lot of folks, and still remains a classic to this day. This also paved the way, I believe, it's either 91 or 1992 when Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out, and that is considered probably for many one of the best science fiction films out there. But after Judgment Day, the series has had some rough times to try to do a Terminator 3 or something like that. Rise of the Machines got mixed response when that premiered. Terminator Salvation, while had an interesting idea, didn't exactly do well at the box office. Terminator Geist, if I'm saying the name correctly, was supposedly maybe trying to reboot the Terminator franchise, but that didn't go over very well. And then the last one, Terminator Dark Fate, which was at the time supposed to be Terminator 3, but even that one didn't do well. I mean, I guess the only silver lining for the Terminator series would be the Sarah Connor Chronicles that I think lasted for 2 seasons in all. And since then, the franchise mostly has been put on ice, although supposedly there is going to be like an animated series heading to Netflix and all. But as far as video games go, I would say like most movies or TV shows or video games that try to base it off a movie or a TV show or does a license, it doesn't really have the best response or anything like that. It's not exactly as well known in terms of that. You could argue Terminator 2 Judgment Day arcade game probably was good. I think maybe Terminator Salvation arcade game too. Even I think there was one that was supposed to be an apology for what happened with the video game port of Rise of the Machine, but otherwise, video game wise, it never really clicked with a lot of folks. And when I heard that this one was being in development and handled by the same folks who did the Rambo video game, I had my doubts right out of the gate, because given the response that game got, though, I wasn't really sure how this one was going to play out. So it wasn't on my list of games to purchase or buy or anything like that. But then some of the reviews started to come in, or mostly the user reviews, and the response seemed to have gotten to be a more positive rather than a negative, though. While the game did get mixed reviews from critics, though, it does some user reviews, on the other hand, seem to paint it in a more positive picture though. So when the game was available on the Xbox Store on my Series S, to basically the complete edition though, to basically, play and everything like that, I mean, in terms of it at a discount price, I decided to purchase a game and give it a go. And after spending some time with Terminator Resistance Complete Edition, I would say this one kind of surprised me a little bit. I did not go in expecting a game like this, made from a developer that handled the god-awful Rambo game, to be able to handle this and actually do a good job with it. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it certainly clearly indicates that actual time and effort went into this game, and that certainly is a good thing indeed. So I'm going to break it down into the pros and the cons, and we'll start off first with the pros. And the first one has to do with the gameplay, and this is the part that kind of surprised me about this, is the kind of approach that they did with the gameplay in this one. Obviously, basically the game kind of borrows a little bit from, the game Homefront Revolution, but at the same time, it also does its own thing, to be exact, though. the game isn't open world or anything like that, but a lot of the areas are big and everything like that. You have your main quest, and then of course your side quests and all. And every time you complete side quests or craft items, which you can do that, to be exact, ranging from weapons to lock picks or certain weapons that you could kill Terminator, stab in the back with a one-hit kill and everything like that. Basically, you can do all that stuff. You'll earn experience points. Also, especially when you take down any of the Terminators and all, and basically use that to level up your character and everything like that. And some of the side missions are ranging from infiltrating this area or taking a picture of certain things though. But what really makes it fascinating is that since you're playing a member of the Resistance, there are going to be some cases where confronting the Terminators may not be the smartest move out there, especially with some of the weapons you may get your hands on all. And there are times when it's perhaps best not to confront them at all or try to avoid confronting them at some points. There's one mission particularly in a hospital where you basically have to avoid being detected by the Terminators and everything like that. So as far as the gameplay go, this one's a little bit surprising, and it actually proved to be fun. And I like the idea of maybe you want to take a step back and maybe not confront the Terminators or anything like that. I thought that was a very interesting approach that they did in terms of the gameplay for this game and all. As for the lock picks and all, lock picks are kind of very similar if you've played past Bethesda games or anything like that, like Skyrim or the Fallout. And there is sort of a hacking thing, which I thought it was kind of simple and easy, but in either case, gameplay is certainly enjoyable and fun, at least in my book though. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the content, and pretty much being this is the complete edition, I think really appreciate them putting everything available to get and everything like that. You basically have two other DLCs. You have Annihilation and Infiltration. Annihilation is basically a side story that takes place between certain missions from the main campaign and all, and it certainly is sort of neat and everything. So it's definitely fun, but Infiltration mode I think is probably my favorite because this one you basically play as an actual Terminator. You're trying to hunt down other members of the Resistance and everything like that. You're not invincible or anything like that. The Resistance can put up a fight and all, but I really think that's probably my favorite of the DLCs that are available in Terminator Resistant Complete Edition. But still, nice that they got all the DLCs in here and all. And last but not least, though, is that the game, at least on the Xbox Series S, runs at a very good 60 frames per second, which is certainly nice indeed, though. I'm glad that the game runs very well, even at 60 frames per second on the Series S. It it runs nice and everything, so that's certainly good that they managed to get the game running at a good 60 FPS for the Xbox Series S and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, which is the cons. So we'll take a quick little break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my video review of Terminator Resistant Complete Edition for the Xbox Series X and S, this being played on the Series S and all. So now that I gave you the pros, I'm going to go straight into the cons, and there are really only 2 cons I could think of based on my time with Terminator Resistant Complete Edition. The first one has to do with the visuals and all, and let's just say the visuals aren't exactly anything to write home about. I mean, some areas of the visuals look like how some of the Terminators look and everything, but for a game, especially something running on Unreal Engine 4, I would say I've seen better looking games that have ran on Unreal Engine 4. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the worst looking game I've seen out there. I mean, there are definitely games that look way worse than Terminator Resistance, but it's not, I would say, compared to other, like I mentioned, Unreal Engine 4 games like Stellar Blade or Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, I would say those kind of blow Terminator Resistance out of the water. So it's not the worst looking game, but there are definitely better looking games out there. And last but not least is the story, which for me, I'm not huge on the lore though, but I definitely like the approach that they made with the story, which is basically focusing basically taking place before the events of the first Terminator game, and I'm sure fans of the series will appreciate how the story is written and all, but I think that is also at the same time that could be a bad thing or a negative in a way, because the story I feel is going to appeal to mostly longtime Terminator fans. I'm not sure for those who, unless you really enjoyed the movies or anything like that, some of the stuff you may or may not understand, or some of the references that appear, especially for longtime fans of the Terminator series. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing, but you can easily tell the story is more geared towards the hardcore or longtime Terminator fans out there, which can be kind of both a good and a bad thing depending on how you want to look at it. Overall, I would say I definitely enjoyed Terminator Resistance Complete Edition, and I will say this game definitely surprised me when having spent some time with the game at all. At its best though, I think the gameplay is enjoyable and fun. I'm glad that they put all the DLCs into this collection and everything like that. I think that's good. And I'm glad that the game runs at 60 frames per second, even on the Xbox Series S. So I certainly will give props to the developers in terms of handling this version, especially onto the Series S. But at its worst, I also can see the visuals, while not the worst looking, I think there are definitely better looking games that run on Unreal Engine 4 that are out there and all. So basically, it's sort of a mixed bag on the visuals. And the story, while I enjoy it, I can understand it may not appeal to everyone, since this one's more towards longtime fans of the Terminator series. But in either case though, I definitely like how they were able to handle this game. It's pretty clear that they learned their lessons from how they handled the Rambo video game and all, and I certainly am glad how this one came out. I am curious to see how the RoboCop Rogue City, which I'm currently playing right now, how that all plays out and everything like that. But I definitely would be down if they were to handle and do another Terminator game, maybe in the same universe of where Terminator Resistance is. I like some of the approach that they have done though. And it does show that a movie licensed games can work when they are utilized the right way and everything like that. So overall, I came away pleased with this one, and it is worth taking a look at if you have, the money or anything like that though. So I definitely enjoyed Terminator Resistance Complete Edition. Okay, this concludes my video review of Terminator Resistance Complete Edition for the Xbox Series X and S. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Terminator Resistance Complete Edition? Have you tried the game out before? Do you think the game is actually better than what some reviewers might have said out there though? Are you surprised how this game was handled after how they handled the Rambo video game in any way? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And excuse me. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal Me, Patreon, or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video, hopefully soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!